the surface of the planet Oriya. This section of the world is breaking apart, disintegrating others instantly into ash. Give me a persuasion check.
Coin flip. Heads, Galeo. Tails, the bounty hunter.
So everyone
Right.
but Anorak, essentially?
Yeah, but like, I didn't mean it to look like that.
The rock crew.
We might just have to start killing other people.
I'm not sure if I've overstayed my welcome.
You have. Consciousness returns to you all as the dim blue light of the contestants' circle begins to fill your field of vision. Looking around at the remaining contestants, as you gain control of your eyes, you can see that there are a lot of empty spaces from contestants that have fallen. Your adrenaline spikes as you can see who's left, and you know how tough some of these competitors are. And you can't help but wonder who is going to be pulled today into the Crucible of Fate and fighting for their lives. You hear soft footfalls as two familiar forms enter into the contestants' circle. You can see Tharamgul begin to do some slow twirls, a very gleeful look on his face as he looks positively overjoyed. And as he enters into this lit circle, he's turning around slowly, looking up at the eyes of truth. It's time once again to enter the Crucible, everybody. I hope my eyes of truth out there are just as excited as I am. I've got a good feeling about tonight's episode. For no matter what names are called, we are going to have some legends battling it out in what I think is one of our more interesting rooms. And Dregs, I hope you are ready with that scroll and you've got some delicious names for me, because I have a feeling we are going to be seeing some death, some violence, some betrayal, some shock, and perhaps some regret. And I have to admit, these are a few of my favorite things. As much as I would love to bask in anticipation for as long as possible, we need to make the hypothetical reality. So, Driggs, please do announce our contestants for episode 2 of round 3 of Crucible of Fate. At this point, Dreg steps forward, pulling the scroll out from within his cloak. He unfurls it and takes a moment to look carefully at the names. There's a bit of a pause as he seems to be studying it intently. For the love of Vorilian, Dregs, anytime you're ready, please. You see Dregs just kind of look up at Tharamgul once again, just giving this cold, dead stare from beneath his metal mask. You just hear a... First up, Anorak. And as the name Anorak is called, Brad, welcome back to the show. If you could tell us a bit about yourself, please, and if you'll introduce Anorak to everyone.
Yeah, guys. Brad, I'm from Indiana. Sorry about my video quality. It's going in and out right now, but I apologize. As Brad, we're going to shamelessly plug the new merch that's in the store. We got new shirt that's out there. Obviously, the hats have been there a while. New coffee mugs. Mine's filled with whiskey right now, but it works for coffee too. New beanies. Winter's coming, so for those of us that actually get winter, We've got those, a few other items. So check out the merch store, guys. Love that. But as Anorak lands, he quickly just stands straight up, more regal than anything, and looks around, shakes himself off, kind of stretches, and just says, "Okay, one more."
Excellent, and thank you, Brad, for all your hard work designing our merch. I really can't thank you enough for that. You've done an excellent job, and glad to see you sporting so much fantastic of our wares here today. Looking good.
Yeah,
Dressed like
they
a
all
champion.
just came in.
Sweet. All right, it's good to have you back, Anorak. This is another opportunity for you to prove yourself. Last time went exceedingly well, I might add. Once we came to our arrangement, of course. Still keeping my eye on you, though.
You might want to clean off your glasses. Today may be a spectacle you don't want to miss.
Oh, well said, well said. Let's see who you're going to be facing off against, shall we?
It does not matter.
All right. Next up, Galeo. And we welcome John back to the Crucible. John, if you could introduce yourself and Galeo, please.
Hey, I'm John from Utah. As Galeo's name is called, he floats down to the floor of the tavern, just kind of like rolling his shoulders. The metal of the plate armor is just like grinding as he does it. There's a gigantic gash in the plate armor on one of his shoulder pads where he took a gnarly blow from Angor the Gentle during the last round. He is carrying a shield on his left arm. He has a whip on his belt on the right side, a pouch on the left, and then in his right hand, just kind of like dragging on the floor behind him, is this tattered tannish gray sack that is stained with some kind of liquid. I hope this round goes better than last.
It was a trial for you indeed, Galeo, but you emerged victorious, a survivor indeed. You had everyone on the edge of their seat. I think another blow like that gone through, may have been goodbye, Galeo. But you seem to have healed nicely. Are you ready for today?
As ready as I'll ever be, Thermgul.
Excellent. Excellent. 2 beasts of contestants already called. I'm truly giddy with excitement at who the next 4 will be. All right. Next name on the list, Ludwig Lathalis. And Leo, if you could please introduce yourself and your character, please.
Hey everyone, I'm Leo. I'm from Brazil. Been here since round 1, like everyone else in here. Excited to get back onto the groove of things. And from a nearby shadow, the 100-something Shadowkai appears. Different than before, though, he's smiling. The bags under his eyes seem to have turned into glittering radiant light that contrasts with dark runes that are carved into his face. He's still clad in chainmail under his rock crew jacket and red shirt, and he bickers with his own shadow and scratches a newly formed scruff beard. Look, I understand why, but I don't approve of the how. You should have warned me. We're a team. Remember? I forgive you. Thank you for saving me. This time, though, trust me. Let's show them what mortal and immortal determination can do. And yes, I'm keeping the beard. Don't say anything about it. What's the surprise again? and from the shadow will jump out a sword and a shield. And the shield is now triangular, made with dark metal and adorned with a golden symbol of a claw destroying a skull, which is the claw of Kyrus' symbol. And the sword is changed as well. It now looks sharper and has golden runes along its blade that clash with its dark wing-like hilt. He will grab both the sword and the shield in a flourish. He will reach down into some shadow, do a single line on the shield, and say, "Kaiser, your sacrifice won't be in vain." He will then realize there are other people around him, and he'll say, 92 people are dead, Termgol, and you keep putting me in the second round. Look, I'm wondering if you're excited to get rid of me and Mazan, or if we became your lucky charms.
I'm always thrilled to see these intricacies of fate unfold right before our eyes. I assure you I had nothing to do with you, and you say Mazan as if you'd had a divination of the future. Dregs, is Mazan on the list for tonight? And as Dregs looks down at the scroll, he just gives a gentle nod. Well, there have been some changes with you, not only physical, but you seem capable of divining the future. I know that Mazan has spent a couple of his 9 lives already. You may have a bit of work to do if you are going to be victorious over a dead feline carcass. Huh?
Whatever the case is, my aim today is to make you suffer. For Rondo, Enialis, Kaiser, and all the other fallen. So let's see if I'm successful, even if just a little bit.
Let us see indeed. Welcome back to you. I have to admit, I thought that Kaiser had your number last time, but you have some tricks up your proverbial sleeve. Let's see how many more you can pull out. You see, Dregs looks up towards Mazan. And we invite Jordan back to the show. Jordan, if you can introduce yourself and Mazan, please.
Hello again, everyone. My name is Jordan. I'm from Kentucky. I play Mazan the Tabaxi. As Mazan kind of comes down, he hears his name called, shakes the sleep paralysis almost off, looks around, sees Ludwig, and just shakes his head and is like, "Every time it's you. It's always you. If you like it that much, you're gonna have to put a ring on it."
Don't threaten me with a good time, man.
It always warms my heart to see friends reunited. Rock crew. I think that's the way that you guys call it out, huh? Nevertheless, Mazan, let's see if you can avoid using up any more of your lives in this episode.
That's the plan. Save mine, take others.
You've been quite lucky so far. You've been able to take advantage of your speed and physical prowess to escape. Let's see if this trend continues for you, if this maybe someone can grab this cat by the scruff of the neck and deal with you once and for all. Alright, Dregs, who is up next? The unnamed bounty hunter. And we once again welcome back Carl. Good to see you again. If you could introduce yourself and the unnamed bounty hunter, please.
Hiya, I'm Carl. I'm from the southeast of the UK. That's a slight time difference to everyone else. Unnamed bounty hunter steps out of his stasis pod for the first time, rather than a combat role he has done thus far. and just eyeballs Drags and kind of walks straight up to him. And then spins on his heel as if Drags doesn't even exist, and puts his eyes up to the eyes of fate and acknowledges his prestigious fans with a little double gun point to him and a little wink, and looks round to his fellow contestants and Theron Gore and says, "Here we are once again, Theron Gore."
Indeed. Of course, we still don't know your name. Are you going to let us in on the big secret here at some point? You're making an impact on Dregs. He may not show it, but I'm pretty sure you're getting under his skin. And at that, you just see Dregs' eyes and his mask stay fixated on you, but he just kind of uses one of his hands to pull his cloak out and around, just showing an array of throwing daggers on a bandolier.
I look forward to taking them off your dead corpse, Dregs.
Oh my, are we going to have to arrange a 1v1? Huh? Bounty Hunter v. Bounty Hunter? How many of you would like to see this?
And the unnamed bounty hunter's appearance, he's, anyone familiar with Eladrian, he's almost glowing yellow, his hair up, flowering, but almost like flames, face covered still, and looking like he should be heavily laden but moves freely with the gear he has on. A couple of javelins out of his back, a couple of he has a climber's pick down one side of his belt, the other side a rod, a potion dangling from his belt, and a couple of scabbards amongst his person with that throwing daggers in, and his bow ever ready to be grabbed with his multiple quivers amongst his person.
I have to say, unnamed bounty hunter, that you too have been quite lucky in your first 2 appearances here. Let's hope that luck stays on your side. You did have quite a dramatic escape during last round. You are nothing if not extremely entertaining.
I live more than just entertain you, Theron Gore. I am still awaiting my contract, as you know, why I was summoned here in the Abyss. Maybe the person that wanted to summon me has already died before I could execute their contract.
I am unaware of who your patron may be. Perhaps it is one of our contestants here, perhaps an Eye of Truth. Maybe even Dregs himself wanted you here for some reason. Who knows? Time will tell, perhaps. Let us hope that you...
I was hoping, Theron Gore, you were the one, my patron, and Dregs was my target. And he looks at Dregs and sniggers once more.
Excellent. Well, you still have your task in front of you this evening, and by looking at those that have been summoned before you, you have your work cut out for you. And there is still one more name to be called. Dregs, let's move on, shall we? The last competitor in round 2, episode 2, round 3, is Zorai. And we welcome Sean, who looks to have grown his hair out and gotten a bit more styling done. We welcome you, Sean. If you could introduce yourself and your character, please.
Be happy to. It's great to see everybody. My name is Sean, and I will be piloting Zorai, the monk. And quick shout out, you can find me on social media at The Guy for the Gig. I am a wedding officiant. I am voiceover talent. I am also the chief editor and producer of the number 5 professional wrestling podcast in the United States, according to Apple. It's called The Stardom Cast. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. We just jumped up to number 5 recently, so I'm very proud of that. Anyway, so as Zorai begins to descend, you can see that his arms are crossed over his chest, similar to like Wakanda Forever, right? When he lands, he sort of slowly brings his arms down to his sides, kind of outright, and in true Zorai fashion, just opens his eyes, looks at each of you, and gives you an earnest nod in respect. Unlike what you see of me in real life, Zorai is the complete opposite. The only thing he has with him is a satchel at his side. He has a bow on his back, and he has a few darts sort of, in his waistline, but he's wearing a very modest cloth sort of wrap, like a traditional monk. And he has a scar over his left eye in the shape of an X, no hair. After he nods at each of you, he kneels down, puts his fists in front of his face like so, opens his hands and puts them over his face for a moment, then briefly removes them, opens his satchel, and takes out what you can sort of glimpse at is a painting in progress, takes his brush, holds it to the sky, and then begins to add a few more strokes to this painting, and will paint until it is time to move on.
And don't want to interrupt you, Zorai. You do beautiful work, I might add. As Thermgul walks into the center of the circle of all of you, just slowly pacing with his shoulders back, head up, just kind of like looking down his nose a bit at each of you. As with our previous round, now that you all know who you will be squaring off against, I'd like to give you an opportunity to get to know one another a little better here in front of the eyes of truth. So I will give you 5 minutes to chat amongst yourselves as we just fade into the background, pretend that we are not even here. So you have 5 minutes, and it begins now.
Ludwig will sit down, get a deck of cards, and start dealing 5 other games. And he'll be like, "Fellas, before we talk business, what do you miss the most about the material plane? I miss sunsets, and I have never seen the ocean before, so I would really like to see that before my unfortunate demise today."
The bounty hunter will walk over to Ludwig and offer out his hand, saying how impressed he was with the rock crew, and that his demise may not be today.
Zorai briefly, he stops painting and just kind of puts away his brush and his canvas, and he says, "Should we ever meet ourselves or meet each other in the material plane, my friend?" And he looks at Ludwig. "You should come see the lush greens and the streams in the forest that I traverse in my free time." And he turns to the unnamed bounty hunter and he says, "And you, sir, we have never met, but there's something about you that I sense that you are dedicated to your craft. And I have respect for anyone dedicated to whatever their craft will be."
The unnamed bounty hunter will offer out a hand for a handshake and say, "Live free, tame death, friend."
And I reciprocate.
We're free to death.
Also, I look over at Galeo. Did I pronounce that correct?
Yeah, Galeo.
Galeo. I look and I say, "I don't know exactly what happened to your armor, but that looks more intense than I'd prefer to take to my shoulder.
It was not pleasant. It was from a very angry orc. If you don't mind me asking, what was it that you're painting?
Meridian guides my brush, and she is simply helping me tell my story. She is painting my fate and my future. I do not know what it is exactly. I'm simply putting the brush to the canvas.
Well, everyone, you all have heard of what we might face today. I will say it outright. I have ways of impeding them from seeing us, but this comes at a cost of us being blind as well. I cannot fight in such conditions, but I would rather take that chance than the Lich using its spells against me, or the creature with many eyes using those eyes against me as well. What are your thoughts on it?
I think I could help. In either case, I have ways to shut down the spellcasting of the Lich, and I have ways to bolster our resolve against the Beholder. If you guys will accept my aid, I will help, because we need to kill these things.
I will accept aid. I think that we should work together to destroy the beasts, and then after that, allow the cards to fall where they may.
I agree.
Unfortunately,
I think about what I'm able to do, and I say, for what it's worth, to the armored one, and he looks back at Galeo. He says, while we fight the beast, a stray arrow should not be taken personally until it is to be taken personally.
Yes, with soul decay, there's one amongst us that could take more hits. I think
I just chuckle and I say, "Good luck hitting me."
that's the point.
I glance at Mazan and Ludwig and Anorak. I say, together, we will defeat these beasts. And I nod at each of you. Also, all five of you.
May Iodin bless this fight, and while I take no pleasure in the death of any of you, we will do what we must.
What must be done, must be done.
Keep your hopes up. Remember, we may still be able to see the material plane again and save it from this army.
All right, everyone. I love to interrupt, and your 5 minutes is up. So let us not waste any time here. We'll move right on to me explaining what is in the gift shop, so that you will know what tantalizing goods are on the display cases for you to purchase.
God, I hope it's donuts.
Yeah. So, out of the shadows, you see the display cases of the gift shop appear and solidify before you all. In Tier 1, the first item that you see is an agate of defense, which is a polished red stone, which enchants any mundane item, armor, or clothing to provide a +1 to AC if that item is being worn or held. The other item in Tier 1, a bit of a homebrew item, an amulet of Misty Step. So this amulet would allow you to teleport 30 feet to a point you can see as a bonus action. I guess just something to be clear about. It's not a bonus action to cast, it's just a bonus action to teleport. In Tier 2, we have an amethyst of enchantment. This is a polished purple stone. The reason it is in Tier 2 now, of course, is that it provides a +2 to attack and damage rolls for any one mundane weapon, spell focus, holy symbol, hand wraps, etc. And attacks from this are considered magical once the amethyst is attached. The second item is a ring of resistance. The resistance type would be declared at the time of purchase, but I assure you that it is useful to whatever you will be encountering during this episode. Finally, in Tier 3, the first item is a Wand of Paralysis. This wand has 7 charges, and with the use of one charge, as an action, you can emit a thin blue ray to a creature within 60 feet. They must make a DC 15 con saving throw or be paralyzed. At the end of each of these creatures' turns, they get to repeat the saving throw. Finally, the last item in Tier 3 is a Vorpal weapon. So +3 to attack and damage rolls with this weapon. It ignores resistance to slashing damage, and on a natural 20, you cut off the head of the target so long as it does not have any legendary resistances or legendary actions. So there you go, everyone. Those are the items available for purchase. Clearly, they are all quite useful in the endeavors ahead of you all. Alright, so with this newfound knowledge, it is time for us to determine the order in which you will take your intermission actions. So as usual, we will determine this out of character, not as Therangul. So you get to do a perception skill check, a regular dex-based initiative, or your intelligence ability check. Any of those 3 can be used to roll for your initiative. We'll do it in order as I call out your names from top left to bottom right. So we will be starting with Anorak. If you could give us your roll, please.
Anorak does suffer from a -4 to his initiative, though.
Okay, so the final is 18. Galeo, 16. Ludwig, 25.
I don't want to go first. I don't.
Too much pressure. Too bad.
It always happens to me.
Hey, if you want to re-roll, you want to use a fate sphere.
No. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's what I thought. All right, Mazan. Sticking with.
I'm actually going to use a Fate Sphere to re-roll that.
Okay, Mazan is using Fate Sphere. Go ahead and re-roll. Mazan has plans.
So it's actually lower this time, so I have to use the second roll, correct?
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Unnamed Bounty Hunter. 27. Zorai, 19. Good with that. Okay,
Yes.
In that case, we will begin. I'm going to put all of you in the waiting room, except for the Unnamed Bounty Hunter, and we will do your first intermission action. We'll see you folks when we see you. Relax, make yourselves at home. Greetings, Unnamed Bounty Hunter. You are first to do your intermission action. What would you like to do?
I would like to parley.
Very well. In that case, clearly you are the first, so you get to pick 2 that you can speak with. With whom would you like to parley?
Ludwig and Mason, the rock crew.
One moment, I will fetch them for you. Greetings, Ludwig. You have been invited to a parley circle by the Unnamed Bounty Hunter. Tell me, do you accept or refuse the offer?
I accept.
Very well, Mazan, the same question to you. Do you accept this parley with the Unnamed Bounty Hunter and Ludwig, or do you refuse?
Why not?
Very well. In that case, Bounty Hunter, you have 3 minutes, and it begins now.
Good day to you both. I am an admirer of your skills, shall we say. And I was certainly moved by your rock crew gathering. This is certainly the way to win these games, as it were. And I would hate to break the rock crew. So, as they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I would like to make an alliance among the three of us so that we attempt to be the three survivors. What say you?
Well, Mazan was a little bit angry at me earlier, so I don't know. He can speak first.
Anger is a very bad descriptor. I'm surprised to see you all the time, but the bounty hunter is someone that we've not encountered. I know very little about you, but I prefer alliances made on the field of battle. But I think that preparation is key this day, yes?
Yes, indeed.
Bounty Hunter, your skills are very well talked about in the whole Crucible. We have a few ways of going about this. I would enjoy a relationship with you right now so that we can help each other before the game starts. I have a few blessings that I can bestow upon you. In exchange, I would expect you to help me survive the first round. After that's done, I have a way of helping us all get out, if Mazan would like to enter on this as well. I must say though, if we are going against the Beholder, I plan on blinding him, and that would include blinding all of us as well. What are your two stances on that?
I do like my eyes, I must say.
We need them to see.
I will wait a bit then.
But, well...
I say
After?
no one brought it up during the card game, but I do think we should try to take down whatever it is that is thrown at us. But if it comes
to kill the beast and then escape the room.
That would be a great plan, but if we can't kill it, we might just have to start killing other people.
So who would our primary target be?
Anorak, for sure.
Do you think the elf would be a good target? He seems pretty powerful.
He doesn't seem too keen on helping other people. If he's hasted or flying, I have a way to shut him down.
And gentlemen, that is 3 minutes, and so your time has concluded, as has the first intermission action of the unnamed bounty hunter. I will see you all shortly. Greetings, Ludwig. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Greetings, Ferngul. Well, someone got to parlay before I did. I would then like to go to the gift shop instead of parlaying with you like we did last time. So forgive me for not wanting a longer conversation.
I take no offense. This is your life, not mine.
Fair enough.
The gift shop it is. And up out of the shadows appear the display cases and shelves of the gift shop. Tell me, what items do you have your eye on? Hopefully something from the tiered list.
Well, first things first, and Ludwig will grab his whole backpack and put it on the selling stuff. He will hold Kaiser's helmet, and he'll say, Lord Praxis, I hereby return your knight to you, and swear that his sacrifice will not be in vain. So I'll do the shopping list that I mentioned before, but I want to ask, because I just received the gold, could I look at the consequence items before buying mundane items?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so then first things first, Ferngul, why don't we look at that Amethyst of Defense then, since I have a free reroll, might be able to deal with the consequence.
Sure. It is a tier 1 item. Are you committing to purchasing it?
I am. I would like it permanently.
Permanently. Excellent. In that case, if you could please make a d20 roll. 13 minus 2 con.
I would like to use my free reroll on this one.
Sure, no problem. Go ahead and roll d20 once again. 15. You can't dodge or dash as an action.
Is that all?
That's it. Can't dodge or dash as an action.
Perfect. I can still disengage.
Yes.
Ah! Oh! My legs! My calves! This hurts so much!
Good, good. The pain will subside.
It will.
Okay, so you now have the agate of defense. You can apply that to any mundane item, armor, or clothing to give you +1 to AC.
It's going to be applied to my chainmail, and then I will shop with shopping list A, which does not include me needing to buy a remove curse spell scroll.
Okay.
So it doesn't weigh anything, right? I can just add it to my regular chainmail and +1.
Yep, exactly. Greetings, Zorai. I hope that I have not interrupted your painting. It's your turn for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Thank you, Therum Ghoul. I would like to attempt to speak to another participant in today's battle.
With whom would you like to speak using your parlay intermission action?
The mysterious one. The unknown.
Unnamed bounty hunter, I presume.
Yes.
Greetings, unnamed bounty hunter. You have been summoned to a parlay circle by Zorai. Do you accept or refuse the invitation?
I accept.
Excellent. In that case, Zorai, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Greetings, mysterious one.
Hello.
It seems like I was correct in assuming that you have a particular set of skills that you are passionate about. And judging by the dangerous looking javelins on your back, I assume that it comes at a range, so to say. So, I believe, especially against something like a beholder, the two of us may have some sort of an advantage against those, especially with regards to being able to potentially kite around this. I am here to request an understood allyship in today's happenings, today's adventure, today's bloodshed. What are your feelings?
Well, if I'm brutally honest, disappointment. I thought this was finally my contract coming to light. Yes, the creature is my primary target, and we should work together in order to kill it. Although a beholder is not easily slain.
Of course. Would you like to ally as well in survival against the other players should they turn on us?
Yes, I could avoid doing you harm if I, as long as I can. But if we're the last two, you'll understand.
Of course. We're all here to try to survive, my friend.
And I intend.
I will have your back if you will have mine, if the situation presents itself.
If that situation presents itself, indeed.
I believe I understand.
I would recommend Anorak being a primary target if we were to need to be a player versus player. He seems quite a powerful being who seems very reluctant to play with others, shall we say.
We are on the same page.
Excellent.
My best to you. May you survive, and may you and I see each other on the other side of this.
Indeed.
Greetings, Anorak. Wonderful to see you once again. What would you like to do for your first intermission action?
Rinse and repeat, Tharamgul. I need to go make some purchases. So let's head to your shop.
At the mention of the shop, you see the display cases apparate out of the shadows and solidify. Has anything from the tiered items caught your eye, Anurek?
And it reaches back and grabs one of his mundane short swords that he has crossed on his back, and he looks at it and would really like to upgrade one of these. And he looks up at the Vorpal sword, Vorpal weapon, and shoves his back in his scabbard and says, "But maybe I'll hold off till next round."
Oh, you had my heart beating so fast there, Anurek. Shame on you. Teasing me so.
What is life without a little pleasure? Seeing your face was gift enough.
But how good would it feel to just cut through the neck of one of your adversaries like a hot knife through butter?
It's what I'm hoping for. But alas, I need to save my resources, and I'm already hampered a little bit on a few other issues. So let's get through those first.
I understand. So any purchases at all?
I'm not from your shop, but I have some mundane purchases. If you want me to read them out, or the list that was sent through, how you wanna?
Yeah, we can post the list here. I mean, if you just want to quickly say what you're buying, or like how much money you got from selling, if anything. And then,
after selling what I brought in, I've got a little over 3,000 gold, so I've offloaded quite a bit. The 5th level spell scroll, this nice long sword that I took from Varkin. Thank you. I'll take the gold for that. A few other mundane items, books and crossbows and bolts, and picking up a potion of speed, potion of heroism, 2 supreme healing potions, 2 greater healing potions, and a 3rd level spell scroll of Tiny Servant.
Tiny Servant, okay. And did you say what the 5th level one was?
The 5th level spell scroll I sold was animate objects.
Oh yeah, okay.
Leaving me with about 370 gold left.
That's quite the haul. So does that conclude your shopping today, Anurek?
It does. That is what I need to prepare.
Excellent. Then we will see you momentarily for your next intermission action. Greetings, Galeo. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Tharamgul, always a pleasure. I think I will visit the Archivist.
The Archivist. One moment, please. And as you say the Archivist, the Fate's Hand Tavern dissipates into the shadows, and you find yourself moving through a large archway. And as you hit the threshold, you can see a massive pile of bones to your left and a seemingly endless stack of bookcases filled with tomes and books on the right. You also feel a presence enter into your consciousness. And at this time, I would ask you to either give me a persuasion, intimidation, or investigation.
I am rolling like garbage.
You sticking with 11 or anything to alter it?
As long as I at least learn the name of the creature, I'll stick with 11.
Very well. As you move through the threshold of the archives, you sense the presence of Abunga All as he emerges from the shadow. You see his gray, mottled skin, his sunken eye sockets, and the creamy white eyeballs, and of course the tentacles coming down his face. appears you have caught me at an inopportune time, Galeo. However, you should be aware that you are the first to visit me this evening. So, although I cannot be of much aid to you, you will have advantage and against the creature, and it will have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. And with this mechanical benefit, you're suddenly mentally assailed by imagery as if you are floating above the ground. As you look out at a variety of people who are fleeing from you, occasionally altering your vision to shut down any magical annoyances that may get in the way should any pesky adventurers be foolhardy enough to stand their ground against such a magnificent creature as yourself. Out of your peripheral vision and just feeling, you sense power being emitted from a variety of eye stalks. These beams having different effects as they impact their targets, turning some people to stone, disintegrating others instantly into ash, slowing them down, charming those you wish to bring on your side, or having the powerful effect of telekinetically controlling whatever you choose to hold within your telepathic or telekinetic grasp. The creature you'll be facing is, of course, a beholder.
Okay, that is... I was really, really scared of the Elithalich.
I rolled it. The refs bore witness to my roll, so as promised, it's not me picking, it is completely random.
That Elithalich has been on the the monster list for a while.
Well, I only started rolling this time, but previously I was hoping that B-Dave might return, which he may still, but we'll see. But yeah, this is General Khan Zalan that you will be up against today.
General Khan.
I hope that this information has been useful for you, Galeo.
It has indeed, Umbrunga-Al. It appears that I will not be facing your kin this day, but perhaps in a later round.
I hope for your sake that is not the case. I, of course, wish to see you again, Galeo, but I must return to my studies now.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, see you shortly.
Hang on.
Oh.
Don't run off. Since he knows, let's tell him to be prepared. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, because of the potential of the anti-magic field of the central eye of the beholder, if you could just do some calculations of like if you're caught in it, like how that's going to affect your AC or any of your like attacks, defenses, what have you.
I already have all that.
Okay. Greetings, Mazan. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
As much as I do not want to see his face, I think I need to go to the archives.
At the mention of the word archivist, you see the Fate Sand Tavern disappear into the shadows, and you find yourself at the threshold of an archway high above your head. As you hit the threshold of this archway, the massive piles of bones appear on your left, as do the seemingly endless rows and stacks of tomes and books. You also feel a presence enter into your mind. And at this point, I need either a persuasion, investigation, or intimidation check, please. Saving the good rolls for in the game, huh?
I hope. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let's leave it as that.
Leave it at that. As this consciousness pushes up against your own within your mind, you hear the voice of Abranga All. Greetings, my son. I am afraid you caught me in the middle of an experiment. I do not have the time to parley with you today. However, I do not want you to leave empty-handed. Would you at least like to know the name of the creature or the room that you will be competing against or in?
In deep speech, just like before, Mazan will answer. I didn't expect much help from you, but tell me what the monster is I will face.
I will try not to take offense from your cutting words. They are as sharp as your claws. You will be facing General Khan Zavan, a beholder military strategist.
Mazan's going to look around, and on Abranga All's desk, are the claw marks from last time still there?
Yep, they are.
He's going to look Abranga All in the eyes, put his hand right beside those, and scratch 5 more, and say, something else to remember me by. Next time I am here, maybe you can make time for me, and leave.
Excellent. Okay, that ends your trip to the Archivist.
Yep.
See you next round.
You want to tell him?
Oh, yep. So because you know it's the Beholder, it does have a central eye that has an anti-magic field. And so if you wouldn't mind just doing a check in case you get caught within that field at some point, how that would affect your armor class, hit points, anything. So any items that you have that are magical that were active would be temporarily disabled. Deactivated. Yeah.
Luckily, he has nothing magical besides his psionic blades.
Ah, okay. Do those list as magical in their description?
They do. They list as magic attacks, so...
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Greetings, unnamed bounty hunter. It is time for your second as well as your final intermission action. What would you like to do for your second one?
I would like to see the Archivist, please, Therangul.
Very well. One moment, please. As the Fate's Tavern fades away, out of the shadows emerges a grand archway above your head, which seems to be moving toward you or you toward it. Difficult to discern, but upon hitting the threshold, on the left you can see the massive piles of bones, and on the right the seemingly endless stacks of books and tomes. You feel a presence enter into your consciousness, and at this point I need either an intimidation, persuasion, or investigation roll, please. 17. So this would unlock tier 1 should you choose to accept 17 as your roll, or if you have any other ways to adjust it, you can.
No, that'd be my roll.
Okay, sounds good. You hear a voice in your head as the both physical and telepathic presence of Abranga All become apparent to you, with him occupying space within your consciousness, but also emerging out of the shadows. You see his gray mottled skin and his sunken eye sockets filled with creamy, milky white, as his tentacles descend from his mouth, kind of subconsciously undulating. Greetings to you, unnamed bounty hunter. You have caught me at an opportune time. I can discuss with you. Tell me though, do you wish to gain information about the creature you will be facing, or the room in which you will be competing?
How forthcoming are you feeling with information, my friend?
I have a bit of time.
Primarily, I would like to know about the room, but if I could know what form the beast is in at least, that would be a pleasure to know.
But that would be double dipping. I would need a bit of motivation should we go down that path. But
What
barring
would you like? What is your currency, my friend?
Give me a persuasion check. Can't see what it is yet, judging by your reaction. Oh!
The -1 was what I was cringing at.
Yeah. I am afraid that my tastes are a bit beyond your means.
Perhaps for now.
Perhaps. So, for now, perhaps we stick to one topic of discussion.
The room, please.
Very well. So you get imagery in your head of a 70-foot square room with a 30-foot ceiling. The ceiling is quite opaque, although it is hard to determine what the material is. Within the center of the ceiling is what looks like a circular, perhaps opening, although it is closed currently. The floor and the walls are made entirely of glass, and beyond the glass, you can see a very unsettling scene. And that is what appears to be islands of rock or stone, snow and ice, floating, slowly drifting, in fact, away from what looks like the surface of the planet Oriah, as if this section of the world is breaking apart. And through the floor, you can see that you are high above, kilometers above the planet's surface, in fact. On each of these glass walls is 4 mirrors, about 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide. So 4 on each side for a total of 16 mirrors.
6 feet wide, was that, sorry?
6 feet tall, 3 feet wide, yeah, each mirror. And then in the center of the room, an identical metal, perhaps, like circular sealed opening of some sort, and matches the one that was on the ceiling. However, it is currently closed, and on 2 opposing sides of that circle are 2 other doors that just stand in the middle of the room at ground level, closed. One with 2 glowing red rings on the center of the door, and the other one with 2 glowing blue rings. So one door with 2 glowing red rings, the other door closed with 2 glowing blue rings. And then this telepathic image that was presented to you disappears. What you have seen is a glimpse into the imaginarium of a grand strategist. I hope this has been helpful to you, unnamed bounty hunter.
Any clues on how to escape this room or the dangers within it that holds?
That would require significant more time, I'm afraid. And a higher roll on your persuasion or investigation check. One final note about the room is that the floor has a very slight kind of whoa, I'm going this way. It's like a bit of a concave bowl. Not so much that it would cause any difficulty to like walk up and down the edges, but there is a notable like decline in elevation down to the central point.
Yeah, cool.
Very well. And with that, the archives dissipates, and you are once again in front of Theramgul. And for your third and final intermission action.
I'm going to cast magic weapon on my bow.
Very well, then you wish to prepare, no problem. So you take the...
one non-magical weapon until the spell ends. That weapon becomes a magical +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls and is considered magical.
Okay.
That's a concentration spell, and I would like that active when I step through the portal. Well, on my turn's fine.
Okay, so you want it to become active on your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Then best of luck to you, unnamed bounty hunter.
Thank you.
Greetings, Ludwig. It is time for your second and also your third and final intermission action. What would you like to do for your second?
Well, first things first. I would like to parlay with Zorai, please.
Zorai, one moment and I will fetch him. Greetings, Zorai. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Ludwig Lantalas. Do you accept the invitation or deny it?
I do.
Which one?
Oh, I both. I'm sorry.
You accept. Very well.
I accept.
In that case, Ludwig, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Perfect. Zora, it's a pleasure to see you again. Your speech moved me. Also, you were one of the only ones to answer me, so I believe you do have some love for the material plane inside that heart. I would like to ask, how are your preparations going? Do you know which monster we will be facing? I am up for an alliance, but I would like to hear from you first.
Certainly. I am, as far as what it is that we will be facing, I only have the same knowledge as yourself. There will be monsters. There will be monsters among us. And I would be more than happy to work side by side to make sure that any enemies would be defeated.
Perfect. I agree. I am also in cahoots with the bounty hunter and Mazan, so I will be offering you a blessing to make sure we will both know that we're on the same side. So, in exchange for that blessing, I would ask for you to help me survive the first round if I do need it more than the others. If you do help me in a very noticeable way, I will make sure that once the first round ends, me and you have a great chance of getting away. I could push everyone else back for a pretty good while.
Excellent. You would have my commitment to this. I have spoken previously, for what it's worth, with the bounty hunter, and I believe I have some sort of an understanding with him as well. So I will be more than happy to look out for you, and since you seem to have an agreement with the bounty hunter, I believe that'll benefit all three of us.
Perfect. Good to know.
And whom else did you say that you have an agreement with?
Masan was called to the same parley circle as us. I
Yep.
intend on blessing him as well. Although I do know that he looks after his own fur more than the others.
Totally
So
understand.
that's why I wanted to talk to you first.
You have my my commitments and my allyship.
Perfect. Can you see while blinded by the way?
I do not believe that I can.
Very well.
Let me just double check here very quickly. Sorry.
Don't worry. If it comes to that, I am thinking of attempting to blind at least the beholder. That seems to be our bigger issue.
Right.
The Illith Lich, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. But the beholder, if it's not able to use those eyes, we might have a better shot of doing it. But I'll give it a few rounds before I choose anything.
I understand, my friend.
Perfect.
I appreciate you, and I bow my head.
I bow my head back.
All right, and that is 3 minutes, pretty much on the nose. So
I hope you get to take me to that jungle someday.
It would be my pleasure.
how sweet. Let us hope you both survive, so you can prance through the forest together. Huh? We'll see you both in a moment. It is time for your third intermission action, Ludwig. What would you like to do?
There's no need to be sorry. And before I initiate this one, just know that although ideologically we might be enemies, you have a bit of respect for each and every single soul you put on here. And that is commendable to an amount.
Everybody has value to me, Ludwig, for sure.
First and foremost, I'm gonna drink a fire breathing potion just before we get into the portal, as well as doing all of everything that I'm doing now. Is that okay?
So you were taking the prepare action, I take
Yes, sorry. I'm taking the prepare action. Forgive me.
Okay, yep, no problem. So you can take it right before you go through, yeah?
Right, out of character, let's cast a bunch of spells, and then I have a small bit of description. Since I don't know which beast we're going to be fighting, I won't be saving a third level spell slot, unfortunately. Shame. It is a shame. Also, I made too many allies for that. So, with my third level pact slots, I'm going to be casting Bless and Mirror Image. Mirror Image on myself, Bless on Masan, Bounty Hunter, me, and Zorai. I am able to cast it with this much people on it because I am using it on a third level. And also on Galio, since he seemed to want to be an ally at the start, and I believe that makes it so that it's okay if I cast it on him, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So everyone
Right.
but Anorak, essentially?
Yeah, but like I didn't mean it to look like that. I just realized that by using Bless on a third level, I can do 5 people. So I'll throw it on Galio as well, hoping. Well, if that bites me at the end, I'll just deactivate concentration and let's try our best. He did seem sorry for what he did last time. Last but not least, I am going to be using my Channel Divinity. Should be here. Watcher's Will, which you can use your Channel Divinity to invest your presence with the warding power of your faith. As an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. For 1 minute, you and the chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. So I am choosing me, Bounty Hunter, and Zorai, because I think from him and Mazan, he might need it the most. And how this happens is that as Ludwig begins casting the spells, he will kneel down and begin doing prayers to Kairos and also connecting with Sombra. I'm using both Warlock and Paladin spells. But then he will get up from the kneeling position and start to turn to Ferngul. And on that moment, a claw from Sombra will push him down again. Not too hard, but gently. And he'll say, okay, fine. But I'm telling you, he doesn't want me. I just killed a follower of Praxis. And the shadow claw that held him down will kind of nudge on his shoulder. Oh Lord Kairos, Avatar of Praxis, I, Ludwig Lephalos, like my mother and father before me, swear an oath against all. And then Ludwig is stopped by Sombra, which will give him just a gentle kind of nudge on his shoulder. He looks at the claw for a second, and he says, "Are you sure? It's been 20 years. I should follow the regular scripture. I shouldn't try." And the figure in the shadow will then become a porcelain golden mask, and it will stare at Ludwig. "You're right. I'm not like those before me. I'm a failure of an undead killing paladin, and all of the ones that are going against this place are counting on me. Lord Kairos, I hereby swear my life to your name. In a way unlike any other that came before me, I swear to a different mission, to keep watch upon this abyssal plane, to impede any and all of their forces from corrupting creation with their mockery of fates and life." And Ludwig will stop for a second and rise up, staring at Turnbull. "I swear to destroy all of those that would aid in their freedom. Through logic, my actions will be certain. Through time, I will continue to prove my worth. Through the sanctity of death, none shall escape me. And through fate, my blood shall fall. I am a watcher, and I am the first of the eyes of Kairos." And with that, the channel divinity works, finally. He will smile back at Sombra. He'll turn to you, Ferngul, and he'll say, "You should have taken my wish. As I said before, I might die today, but hope will always be the last one to die."
Well, at least you are definitive in your choice, Ludwig. I respect your courage if it's not misplaced. You seem to have a lot going on over there, a lot of people in your space. I have a feeling you would be too torn in too many directions to be an adequate resource to me. So unfortunately, I will be rooting for your demise so that we can spend some time untangling all of the bullshit you've got going on.
I would expect nothing less from someone as afraid of our holy power as you.
We shall see what fate has in store for both of us, Ludwig. But I offer you good luck. Greetings, Zorai. It is time for your second intermission action. What would you like to do?
I believe I would like to speak to the archivist.
Sure, no problem. At the mention of the archivist, the Fatesand Tavern disappears, and you find yourself entering through the threshold of the archives with its massive piles of bones and bookcases on the right. You feel the presence of Abranga All enter into your consciousness, and at this point, I need you to give me either intimidation, persuasion, or investigation.
Nailed it.
Totally. I am afraid, Zorai, that I am researching something rather important at the moment. I do not have a lot of time for you.
Forgive my intrusion, wise archivist. I seek knowledge, but I understand that not all wisdom is freely given. I can see in your eyes and hear in your voice the weight of the knowledge you hold, and I do not wish to take more than I should, only to understand what is right to ask and what might remain veiled for now. So perhaps you might guide me in knowing where my path leads, for I sense that you have insight beyond mere words.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
I appreciate that. Oh, God. Well, hey, better than a 2.
I do not want you to leave here empty-headed. Do you wish to know the name of the monster you will be fighting, or the room you will be competing within?
I seek to better understand my surroundings.
Your what, sorry? Your
My surroundings.
Okay. The room is called the Imaginarium. It is a meditation chamber / training room of a great strategist. I am afraid I must depart, Osorai. Good luck to you.
I appreciate your insight and your knowledge. Thank you.
And at this point, you see Thermgul in front of you as the Fate's Hand Tavern appears once again. And for your third and final intermission actions, alright.
For my final, I would like to revisit the Archivist ? I think so.
Okay, sounds good. So same thing, you feel the consciousness enter into your mind. Go ahead and give me either persuasion, investigation, or intimidation. 12. Anything you want to do to adjust that?
Unfortunately, I don't believe I have any way to adjust that, and I'd prefer to not use a Fate Sphere.
Okay. You hear in your mind the voice of Obranga All. Did you forget something, Zorai?
I suppose I was looking to inquire further about this room, but I'm not sure if I've overstayed my welcome.
You have. Goodbye. And with that, you find yourself back in front of Thermgul. That was very quick. I guess we will see you shortly?
You will see me shortly, indeed.
All right.
Out of character. At least I didn't get a 0.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
Does he get for nothing? Does he get a choice?
Yeah, actually, you would.
I'm sorry.
You'd get the name of the creature, so it is a beholder that you're going to be fighting. So
Okay.
just in case you have anything magical, if you could just look at your AC or any of your stats in case its central eye gazes upon you, then we need to know what you have without any magical assistance in terms of your stats, but just have that on the ready in case that happens. Greetings, Anorak. It is time for your second intermission action. What would you like to do?
Oh, we must prepare now, Thermgul, as we go to battle.
Very well. Prepare. How would you like to prepare?
First, Anorak goes and he sits down cross-legged and he starts casting spells to prepare himself. First one is find familiar. So, moon, soft glow, light, an ancient spell. From shadows woods, where secrets dwell, I call forth thee, winged kin of night, to soar beside me in this fight. And that's his owl familiar.
Okay.
And then he starts chanting again, and by arcane word and mystic flame, I weave the air, protect my name, a shield unseen, yet strong as a steel. Let magic guard, let foes now kneel. No blade shall pierce, no fire shall burn. In this armor safe I turn. With forces of will and ancient power, I stand unbroken, hour by hour. That's the mage armor spell at level 1. I'm just marking these off as I go down.
Okay.
And then he stands up and casts a mirror image at level 2. By the light of truth and shadow's grace, I split my form, my foes to face. These reflections now take flight to dance and weave within the night. Let eyes deceive, let strikes mislead, for I am many, swift indeed. Try to strike, but you shall miss. In mirrored haze, I am abyss.
Sweet.
And that is level 2, mirror image. And then he enacts his blade song. So let blades light with shimmering hue as I invoke the song anew. In dance of steel, my foes I'll face. With every step, I claim my place. For I am wizard, both mage and blade. In battle's fury, I won't fade. With blade song's might, I carve my way to victory's dawn. I pledge this day. So that is Blade Song.
Is Blade Song concentration?
Nope.
Okay.
And then final casting is a Shadowlan's Stride at level 5. By dragon's fire and burning sky, let flames ignite where I now stride. With Ashadalan's ancient might, I blaze through air, a streak of light. Inferno's speed no chains can hold. I run with fire, fierce and bold. Let every step a pyre I create. In blazing stride, I seal my fate. He kicks his heels together and flames ignite off of his boots.
What does that one do?
That is the billowing flames of a dragon's blast from your feet, granting you explosive speed for the duration. Your speed increases by 20 feet, and moving doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. When you move within 5 feet of a creature or an object that isn't being worn or carried, it takes 1d6 fire damage from your trail of heat. A creature or object can take this damage only once during a turn. And then at higher levels, you're 1d6 for every level above 3rd, and I cast it at 5, so it will be doing 3d6 to every single creature I encounter. And it also gives me additional 5 feet of movement on top of per level above 3rd, so I cast it at 5th, so it gives me additional 30 feet of movement. So my base is 30. Blade Song gives me 10 more, so it's 40. That gives me 30 more, it is now 70.
Crazy.
And now I drink my potion of speed,
Holy shit.
giving me 140 movement.
Okay.
And I drink a potion of heroism.
Okay.
So I need to roll a 100.
71, I think, is just both work normally.
Yep, both work normally. All right, and it pulls out a spell scroll and casts it through this spell scroll, and it's a 3rd level Tiny Servant.
Tiny Servant, okay.
Yep, so Anrak reaches into his coin purse, and he pulls out one of his extra gold coins. From lifeless form, a silent clay, I speak the words, the charms to sway. Rise up now with purpose true, and in this world your will renew. By magic's breath, my whispered lore, take life, take shape, be still no more. Tiny servant, heed my call to serve and act, both great and small. He flicks the coin in the air and it magically transforms. It gets little arms, little legs. He catches it, holding it in his grasp. You will be my secret weapon.
Okay.
So, mechanically, do I need to have it exposed when we go into the room, or will it cost me an action to drop it or put it out on the field? I just don't. My thought is for it to be hidden until we get into the battlefield.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. Does it have its own initiative? Or, I mean, it's going to act right after you, but...
Yeah, it does. It costs me a bonus action to command it, unless I give it a general command and it follows that command until that command has been resolved. So I guess my question at this point is, can I give it the command to kill a target and it keep that command until that target is deceased?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It was my understanding as well. And so Anorak will pull the coin out, look at it. Coin flip. Heads, Galeo. Tails, the bounty hunter. And he flips the coin. Catches it. Tails it is. Kill the bounty hunter. So the intention is that he will drop it in combat, and it will use its movement to go after the bounty hunter.
Okay, sounds good, but it's like in your pocket or a pouch for now.
Yeah.
Creatures are not supposed to end their turns in another creature's space.
Yep. That's fine. He'll stand right next to me and walk in right next to me. Perfectly fine. No, that's all right. I was just trying to add one more level of
yeah, but I'm pretty sure that can't Tiny occupy the same. If you want to have him out, that's fine.
Simplicity. He's standing next to me.
Okay, anything else for your prepare action?
Yeah, Eric reaches back into his pack and he pulls out a nice gold ring. Says, this will be useful. And he puts on the ring of necrotic resistance that he got from last round. And then he goes, oh, wait. Wow, one more thing. And he reaches down deep in the bottom of his pouch, pulls out a large black orb, pinching it between his thumb and middle finger. He admires it, turning it just ever so slightly, adoring this black orb, and with a sinister smile. One last gift from Varkin. And he tosses this orb into the air, and the Iron Stone of Protection begins circling Anorak. And so do I need to roll the D3 for that? It hovers around me 1 to 3, 1d3 distance away? Is that something we want? Is that mechanically needed?
If it calls
how
for
do you roll?
roll.
How do you roll a D3?
Just do a D6 and you treat 1 or 2 as 1.
So it's
3 feet?
3 feet away, hovering 3 feet away. And so that gives me a +1 to my AC.
All right, Anorak, for your third intermission action, what would you like to do?
Well, those preparations have left me a bit wheezy. Maybe I'll take a quick short rest.
No problem. So, short rest.
And then arcane recovery to recover my 5th level spell slot.
Okay, sounds good.
So that leaves me with just an expensed 1st level and expensed 2nd level.
Okay, excellent. And that's it for your third?
Besides turning to Therangul and saying, make sure you keep your eyes close. This is going to be fun.
Indeed, I've never seen someone as prepared as you. This certainly will be interesting to watch. Good luck to you, Anorak.
No luck needed, sir.
Greetings, Galeo. It is time for your second intermission action. What would you like to do?
It's a shame, Therangul. I've been wanting to have a conversation with you for a while, but I'm too busy trying not to die to get the chance to use an intermission action to talk to you.
I understand. Perhaps we will have time at the end of this session.
Perhaps. I would like to do some prep.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Aid. and I'm going to cast it because we established that the others are considered allies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to cast it on Zorai, Mazan, and myself, and I'm casting that at 3rd level. So we all get plus 10 to our max HP.
Okay.
I will then use my Pearl of Power to immediately gain that spell slot back. I will then cast Longstrider on myself. And I will cast Bless on myself. Gosh. Myself, Ludwig, and Mazan.
Okay.
So we all have Bless. I will cast Spiritual Weapon, and then I will use a Channel Divinity, Harness Divine Power to gain that 2nd level spell slot back.
Okay.
I think that's everything. So I got my Bless is my concentration, aid, Longstrider, and Spiritual Weapon. I think I'm good. So I'm good with the. Oh, there actually is something else I wanted to do. This is more of a narrative element, though. So if this cut like veers into the line of like this should have been like a different intermission action, just let me know. But I'm going to walk over, dragging that sack behind me with to the branding iron that Blood had made, and I'm just gonna kind of reach in, take out the head of Huron and Angor, and place them next to the iron. And then I'm going to take the iron and brand Huron and Angor's head, and just say, "Your uncle would be proud."
Oh, cold. All right, excellent. No, I think that could be done in the prepare IA for sure.
Okay. And then I'm going to walk over to where the other contestants that are still in stasis are just still floating. Pause below the oddly peaceful looking General Blood just floating in the air, and say, "You better survive this round. We have work to attend to." And then turn around and leave.
All right. Sounds good, Galeo. Lines in the sand once again. Your 3rd, so gift shop this time?
Yes, gift shop.
Okay.
And I'm buying a Belt of Dwarven Kind, which I will replace my Pearl of Power as the attuned item.
Okay. And what does Dwarven Kind do, just for everyone?
It adds a +2 to my Constitution. Increases my Constitution by 2. It gives me advantage on persuasion checks to interact with dwarves. I don't think that's ever going to come up. It gives me advantage against poison, and I have resistance against poison damage. It gives me dark vision out to 60 feet, and it gives me the Dwarven language, so I could speak, read, and write Dwarvish.
And a beard, I think. Potentially.
While attuned to the belt, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn of growing a full beard, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one. I do already have a beard.
Okay.
I will also buy a potion of speed, and I will buy 2 spell scrolls of remove curse. which should leave me with 523 gold after all is said and done.
Okay. Anything else you would like to purchase, Galileo?
No, I believe that's it.
Very well, then this concludes your third and final intermission action. I'll see you after our final contestant completes their intermission actions. Greetings, Mazan. It feels like it has been ages since I've seen you. It is your turn for your second intermission action. What would you like to do?
I think I should try to go to the gift shop.
Very well, gift shop it is. Out of the shadows, the display cases and shelves of the gift shop solidify nearby. You can see from the tiered items that in Tier 1 the agate of defense has been taken, but all other items remain. Tell me, Mazan, what would you like to purchase?
Lord Thenargul, I think today it's just going to be a little bit more gold being spent.
Hey, no problem.
And I'm going to sell my basic poison for 50 gold. Sell a potion of healing for 25. So that brings my total at the moment to 496 gold. And then I'm going to use 480 of that to buy a level 2 spell rot tattoo for the spell blur.
Okay.
And once we have those, the spell rot tattoos, are they automatically applied, or do we have to use the prepare intermission action to apply those?
I believe they're supposed to be automatically applied. I've just allowed people during a prepare IA to narrate them being applied, but
okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Refs, I think those are automatic.
Automatic.
Perfect, thank you.
That is it for your purchases?
Yes, today it's going to be a lot more rough than I expected, so the real of consequences will probably be too much consequences to deal with.
I understand, huh? Caution. Safety is no accident. For your third and final intermission action.
I would like to parlay with my fate-destined friend Ludwig.
Just one moment and I will fetch him. Greeting. Sorry to
I can't believe this.
interrupt you.
I dropped my
Short
sushi.
You have been invited to a parley. I don't want you to talk with your mouth full, but do you accept or refuse the invitation by Mazan?
Sorry, friend boy. I get so hungry on the episodes. We only eat when we're in the episodes themselves, so I would accept, of course.
Excellent. In that case, Mazan, you have 3 minutes, and it begins now.
Oh, Ludwig, you're so silly. Was that Minotaur sushi?
No, I would never do that. Those were some rations that I had on me, but they're running out.
Don't knock it till you try it. But I'll cut to the chase, my friend. So, has any information been gleaned by you about what we faced today?
None whatsoever.
What little information I could receive from the archivist, the squid face, is that we will face the beholder.
What?
So we must plan for that. The room, I do not know.
Right. You and a few others will be under the effect of Bless, but that effect will be deactivated if you are right in front of the eye. So be careful about that. I have a way of... I can just tell it to you. We're about to get into combat. I bought an ever-smoking bottle, right? I, Ludwig, have no way to see through this. But I know that makes our chances better against the beholder. And you are crafty yourself. Do you really think that being blind against it would be that big of a deal, as opposed to getting the rays shot in your face?
I think that if I remember, the last group that faced it, the rays could not affect them in the main eye. But
that's an interesting place to be.
That might be. We might just have to watch out for that dispel magic cone or whatever it is. But my next question for you, friend, is: has anyone else approached you for alliance besides the bounty hunter?
No one has approached me for alliance, although I did just take an oath based on loyalty as well. I approached Zorai to know if he would help us in defeating the monster or not. He said he would.
Does he seem like one that we could count on to attack this thing and try to take it down, or do you think he will stab us whenever we are focused elsewhere?
I think he is driven to destroy this creature just as much we are. I am scared of Anorak, as I've said before, because he hasn't spoken a word, even in the role-playing stage of it. And Galio looked to be sorry for the damage he committed, but I am not sure about him as well.
I believe the satyr probably would be our strongest ally, but this is going to be a hard decision to see where we put our faith into. If that's what we want to do. Fate puts us together, friend.
I'm afraid that is the end of your 3 minutes. And so ends all of our intermission actions, so I will bring everybody back. I hope that you accomplished everything that you meant to.
I'm gonna go back to eating sushi.
You hear the sound of soft footballs. Yeah, we're in Inflategate here. Soft footballs